Hey everybody, welcome back to our quilt along. I'm Jeanette from the Quiltery, and this is kind of the wrap up for Bird Talk. So if you're not familiar and you'd like to see where we've come along and other quilts we've done, check out our Instagram and our hashtag. Once again, I am in my home doing this video. I've had to be out of the shop for a couple weeks and a couple weeks more, but that's not going to stop me from quilting, right? So here we are. I want to talk about the border. So I talked about the birds, putting those together. I talked about the leaves, then putting the whole center section, which that in itself is a nice throw size quilt. Putting on the border makes this a twin size quilt. 73.5 by 89.5. It is a big one. So here is Bird Talk by Robin Pickens, or Bird Talk by Robin Pickens. So this last bit was just the border. Two different fabrics, comes together in pieces. This will come together perfectly if you have good accurate cutting. So let me give you a couple tips that I think will be helpful when you put your own border together. So let me put this down. Number one, there's the flying geese in here. There's little tiny flying geese. So we talked about before, talking about pressure of your foot. So if those little tiny pieces that have 3 or 4 different seams on top of each other start shifting, lighten the pressure in your sewing machine, and then you'll be able to get that more accurate straight seam. So this is forgiving. Having all this extra sashing does help forgive some little wobbles in your flying geese, and I did have a little bit of wobbles. So that was one thing. Another thing is making sure that you have straight lines here. It's really easy to use the tape on your machine. I have 1/4 inch tape on my machine to get that as accurate 1/4 inch as I can for the most part. However, sometimes when you deal with a block that's 2.5 inches, you still get that little bit of bend. It's worth it to take a few extra minutes and draw the line in this case, because you have such a contrast between the chartreuse and the cream that you want the straight line there. Okay, so it takes a few extra minutes. Do it in your living room and on your easy chair and just draw those extra straight lines. Another thing about the border is if you do the ironing. Now you know that if you watch my videos before, I've talked about opening my seams. I open a lot of seams. With the way the windows are right now, you can probably see that a lot of my seams are open, or they're going one direction depending on the sashing. With this sashing, I highly recommend ironing the seams in on the sashing. Okay, that provides you the opportunity to have it going this direction on this side, this direction on this side. So when you're measuring and putting this together on the either side of the seam, or the stem, excuse me, you're able to have a nice straight line here. There's only a few places in the border that you really care about. Most of the leaves don't really match up, so you don't really have to worry, but there's a couple places that you may not want your leaves to start looking really wonky. So if you nest towards the sashing, you will be able to feel it when you put the stems on. So that's another tip for that. Otherwise, it really comes together quite nicely. It has a couple of big dead spaces. It's not a ton of piecing. It's the same thing over again. You do have to watch that your leaves go out in the corners. It's very clear in the pattern coming together. And really, it's your quilt, and if you want the leaves going the other direction, do it. It doesn't matter. But this quilt was fun to put together. I did find a few mistakes that I want to show you real quick, and let me do that over here. So I'm going to back up the camera a little bit. There's 3 mistakes, and I did contact Robin Pickens. However, she has never contacted me back. The cocoa should be a different one. I'm going to post all these pictures on Instagram to make sure that you have that information. So there was one mistake on cocoa. There's also it was correct in this part, but it was not correct in the graphic. So I'll post this on Facebook and Instagram. And then in one spot, all it was, and I said this last week, all it was just a mislabel. It's already sewn, but when you look at this graphic, this number is incorrect. So I just want to make sure there isn't a lot of confusion. So there's 3 things in this pattern. I'm glad we did this as a quilt along so we could talk about it. Another thing, tip I wanted to show you is when you're doing a lot of this kind of flying geese or flip corners, these are called flip corners. One thing you can do is you definitely want to use, I love this Creative Grids. We have this in the shop. It's the heavy one, it's metal. I love it a lot. I like to use a little mat and I like to use a little ruler. The reason is because what I like to do is I like to line up 2 or 3 different things at a time. And then when I come in to do my cut, I just go 1, 2, 3, and then I actually just turn it and I go 1, 2, 3. If I had a big ruler, everything could get knocked around. I don't like to wear out my big mats. They're more expensive. These are really reasonable. We have a ton of them at the shop. So keep this in mind. Another thing, this is not in the shop, is a clapper. So every time I would flip something like this, I would iron it either open or together, going either direction. I would iron it and I would put this on top. So I just have to brag on my cameraman for a second. He got this for me for Mother's Day. And these are kind of a little bit fancy, but I wanted to share because another small business helping another small business. So if you go on Etsy, quilts and clappers, he has a pretty wide variety. He does limited edition, different designs, different quilt blocks on the clappers. They're nice and heavy. His card says, Jack the Wood Ripper. I just think it's so funny. But I have 4 of these and I love them so much. So just a little fun thing that I can show you since we're in my house. I can show you something fun. So there's that. And then also I wanted to show you a couple quilts that we have here at my house. I haven't quilted them yet. That's one of my, I don't know, what would I say? I have a confession that I probably have 15 quilt tops that need to be quilted, if not more, but that's okay. So one of the things that we have at the shop is Speckled by Ruby Star Society, and we have Jolly Basics by Ruby Star Society, like this one. So one thing I've used is I did Knitted Star, and you should be familiar with Lo and Behold Stitchery. She's amazing. We did the Nightingale as a quilt along. I love her. She's from North Carolina. So this one is kind of fun and kind of getting closer to the season now that the fall is coming upon us. And then another thing I did not that long ago was a Preppy Pod. And Preppy Pod, I used fabric that was very masculine, browns and blues, but we have a new line of fabric that's the grays that I think would be amazing in this quilt. So Preppy Pod, you can find her on Etsy. You need to go to her website if you want the patterns, or you could ask Maureen, she might be able to order them. But we have a few new lines that you could do a couple really fun, masculine, more muted, monotone kind of quilts, and that would be really fun to do. So I hope that you join in on our quilt-alongs. I actually have a meeting with Maureen this afternoon to talk about our next couple quilt-alongs. I think we're going to take a little bit of a gap, and then in October we're going to start Adore. That's the Lighthearted by Camille Raskelli, and we're going to do that. And if you have any questions about bird talk, or if you're curious about the mistakes in the pattern, or if there's just anything, let us know. Comment, call the shop, comment on Instagram, wherever you'd like. So hope to hear from you soon. Take care. Bye.